It isn't rare for Ida to take the whole morning to do the shopping. There are always things we can't account for, especially amid the seasons changing. I find it a little easier to work when she isn't around. Even then, while we don't often interact, the woman has me conditioned to please her palate. I think I shifted the blame on her when my dish for the fortnightly challenge didn't do well yesterday. Thwack. It was around 1 o'clock when a resident stomps in the kitchen, his eyes widened with shock. It is so out of the ordinary that anxiety starts to balloon in my chest before my brain catches up to the event. His mouth gapes open as he takes several short breaths. Is Kiri here? She went to get payment. You okay? Good. The boss could explain the news to her better than I. Wait, what? What news? Why does it matter that Kiri isn't here to hear it? Everyone stops in their tracks. The kitchen is filled with a cold, somber mood, in contrast with the usual fiery spirit. The air I breathe is thicker than grease, congesting my nostrils. Well, whoops, happened. Scone finally turns her whole body to face the jumpy man. The north, our base, the man stammers. I fight the urge to shake his shoulders so hard, the words fall out of his mouth in one go. Our base was attacked this morning. What? There were many casualties. Hostile unknown. They cut all the communications lines. We only received the news just now. Well, is Sterling okay? Did she get hurt? Rue. A blurry figure looms over and holds... Oh, gee, I had a feeling this would happen. Holds me steady on my feet. Her voice trembles hollowly in my head. Voices are moving farther away until they become faint echoes, vibrating like a bass horn in a high-ceiling room. Waves of freezing air chill my neck, and they are immediately replaced by unbearable heat. The figures grab me by my arms and shoulders. They mouth into incomprehensible noises. No, Nimcon didn't die. Didn't lie. She told me Diron could take care of herself. The man was the liar. Rue, hang in there. It doesn't take long until the figures begin to meld together, my vision fogged up by the dampness in my eyes. Take her to the infirmary. Faraway voice commands the shapeless shadows with its low rumbling. And then there is no sound, no shape. Is she okay? Nimgon's voice sends a wave of heat to my face. I pull my knees higher, but it does nothing to cover up my feeling of being exposed. How disgraceful. Penniless voices constantly scream into my head. She ate something. Kiri's voice cracks as she speaks. Kai was with her for the whole night, soothing her sobs that were muffled by the pillows. Just feeling worse than myself today, but here she is, speaking and worrying about me. And powerless self can't be her strength. I bury myself deeper in... Oh, God, Dirong's side of the bed. Okay. Dirong's side of the bed. My fingers dig so deep they pull so strongly I can hear the micro tearing in the blanket. It is no longer enough just being embraced by her scent. Rue, can Nimgon come talk to you? Skipping a whole day of work, Ida must be furious at me. To humiliate myself further, my behavior has gotten Nimgon personally involved. Can you come down here, please? For a split second, I have psyched myself up thinking Nimgon would be here with news of Dirong. I'm sorry we made you worry. The firefight was actually a part of our plan. Your plan? I suspected as much. They were rebels? If the plan was to goad the rebels into fighting us, then is it under control? Does that mean the casualties won't be as bad as I thought? Dirong was so close to her captain. Perhaps she out of everyone was in the least precarious position in the fight. Any good news for us? Is Dirong okay? I'll inform everyone once I get the approval from the other elders. It's too risky at this point. Since the fight is still happening, we probably can't afford to be careless in spreading information. I actually came here to speak with Rue. Nimgon stares at Kai for a meaningful second. Fine, no hot goss for Kai. We'll be back. Kiri reluctantly drags Kai to the door. Kai gives us a salute before it gets closed all the way. In a painful way, she reminds me of Dirong. It hurts, doesn't it, to have someone you love being involved in the conflict? Why are they attacking our base? Did the military do something to help? Perhaps because of our growing numbers, we were posing more of a threat to them. Perhaps they were misinformed and attacked the wrong base. They were obligated to offer help, but it wasn't anything substantial. It's ridiculous. Even if we're from different organizations, we share the same country. In their defense, after the war, the military and the Sentinels made a pact not to get involved in each other's business. If the situation was reversed, unless we got word from them, we couldn't just jump in. And I have an idea to make changes happen. We need someone like you. So I can trust without a long history in this organization. Okay, here we go. Whoa, hold on. I'm gonna disapprove because Dirong. I can't. Nimgon is asking the impossible. I am no politician. Getting involved in conflict between government and Sentinels will require their understanding of how the system works, and I am not willing to do that. What could someone like me do that the others can't? My life is already complicated enough, Nimgon. I'm sorry. It takes a long moment to weigh her words. After what seems like minutes, she speaks again. No, you're right. I was being unreasonable. You have your own life to live, and I won't make it hard for you. If there's anything else I can do, no, I will let you rest. We do have free counseling services if you require them. One more thing. It's best you don't go see Ernba anymore. We're looking to have her move soon. I'd rather have time and location kept secret. My stomach clenches. There are so many things. Who is Ernba? My stomach clenches. There are so many more things I needed to ask of her, but by seeing her alone, I've broken so many rules and risked exposing organizational secrets. Wait, what? So that's that. They better soon. With a big smile, Nimgon leaves the room much emptier. A few months later, Kai and Kiri shuffle in the room. Kai's brows froze, though she was trying to solve the puzzle. You look much better now. I feel much better. Thankfully, Nimgon's talk helped ease my mind. We'll be here if you need us. Kiri's guttural voice is laced with affection. What did she want? It doesn't matter. I didn't think I could do it. Good. Admitting your own limits takes strength, too. Dirang promised us she'll be safe. She will keep her word, okay? Okay. Ida had sent me away when I showed up from it. If she's not okay, like, honestly, you play a game like this for fluffy feels. There's too many VNs where, I mean, a lot of times there is a happy ending, but a lot of times it's not, there's no finality to it. Like, it's like, you know, a lot of it is like the characters are young and they've got everything ahead of them, and you don't know if they made it through okay together their entire lives. That's the kind of ending I'd like to see more of, you know. I don't know. Ida had sent me away when I showed up for my afternoon shift. Staying at home only made my decision to binge on a short drama series much easier. Not knowing about Dirang's well-being is still boiling my insides. I feel that. Kiri hasn't come home yet. Perhaps she paid a therapist visit after she finished her shift. We ended up watching a movie to kill the time. Kai told me this one was Dirang's favorite. It is a thriller movie about an amnesiac commander who is rescued by a group of nomads. The main conflict revolved around the fact that the nomads were her enemies. Over the course of the movie, she had to make decisions whether to rekindle the past or to settle in a new life. The action sequences were exciting, but due to the constant switching of camera angles, they were often hard to follow. At the end of the movie, the commander fell in love with the cute nomad. She decided the moment she got her amnesia, her commander life also ended. The nomad love interest sort of looks like me. She had a habit of teasing the commander, calling her man. Dirang, is this why? Still, I have plenty other lovable traits. Kiri comes back to her room around 0:30, much later than she usually does. The hallway behind the door sounds rowdier than usual before she closes it. When I walk to the window, something strange jumps out at me. The ground outside the building is dotted with headlights. Groups of people are unpacking and moving luggage. What's going on out there? Kiri shakes her head and brings Spirit to bed. After a long day of work, she looks worn out. I should get ready for bed, too. I wonder what is going on out there. The well-lit bathroom frames my face in the worst light. I look 10 years older, and I feel 20 years have been sapped from my life. The thought of tomorrow scares me. With some luck, Kiri might be able to convince Ada I am well enough to work. Many times today I felt suffocated. I am drowning in problems while everyone expects me to swim back to the shore by myself. I don't have the energy to even put on my night cream. Slowly I drag my feet out of the bathroom. Oh my god! Hi. I heard I worried you. My mouth goes dry, and all of a sudden my muscles lose their strength save for my wobbly legs. I stagger toward her. My ears are locked on her tired ones. How strange to be dreaming before I've reached my bed. Kiri and Kai surround me with their arms up to catch me if I fell. Wordlessly, I sag against Dirang's sturdy body, who meets me halfway. Rue? Dirang's scent is a mix of the... He's like, I had a feeling. Wait, is she coming back? I wonder why. Okay. I'm guessing... Okay, so... Okay. If... I literally forget her name for some reason right now. But if she... shook her head because she didn't want to tell Rue for some reason, that's just wrong. Because if... I'm guessing she just didn't know what was going on. Because it seems like all those lights and everything were, they're coming home. So, anyway. So, Kiri, that's her name. If she should have known, right? She's very well connected around here. She found out really quickly about Rue. So, I don't know. That just kind of bothers me if she didn't tell her, unless maybe she just felt like it was better that Dirong herself, made it very clear that she was here, I don't know. I feel like the whole... Well, I mean, what if Kiri didn't... I guess it's fair that Kiri wouldn't know, or anyone wouldn't know, if Dirong actually was alive and coming back. So, yeah. That's probably the best answer for that there, so I'm just gonna allow it to be. I think this is the ending, and I'm so happy about it. I really am. I'm really glad that it ended this way, and I had a feeling it would. I was just afraid it didn't. And oftentimes when I'm in the middle of a VN's drama, I really feel like it's just unnecessary. And because I feel so deeply, I feel everything so deeply, it usually just feels wrong that there's so much drama in everything. It seems like most people feel like they need this kind of drama to be really into a story like this, but I don't. It's just not healthy for me to consume this much type of drama. That's just me, though. There's a lot of heavy stuff that I like in my stuff, but not a lot of the kind of stuff that was in here. Anyway, I guess it's just another motivation to keep writing what I want to write and see how many people are gonna end up loving it one day. Hopefully a lot. Dirong's scent is a mix of the sun, the wind, and the people she traveled with, but beneath those distracting scents is a nectarous and heady spur, unmistakably hers. My eyes droop heavily. I'm back. Home against her chest. You're back early? The captain wanted someone to safeguard the wounded. Can't imagine she was happy you volunteered. I feel the rumbling of her throat when Dirong laughs. Not at all. What happened back there? We spread the word that the first team was going home last Friday, but wait, hold on. Safeguard the... I'm guessing the wounded are... I'm guessing like they were transporting the wounded back here to get treated, and she was one of them. We spread the word that the first team was going home last Friday, but the date got moved up at the last minute. Safe to say we tricked the spies into thinking the base was half empty. The first battle wasn't that long, but we had to wait for their second team to respond. I see. You will stay home? I'm still jet-lagged, so I rented out the room next door to do my reports tonight. Huh. You'll join me? We'll catch up. I'm a little worn out today, okay? You don't have to do anything. We can just talk. To be fair, Dirong is true to her words. There is some talking at the beginning, which soon turns into a lot of satisfied moans. Of course it does. My core sparks with fervorous ardor. The place where our skin touches tinkle like electricity, swelter like fire. Our bodies sear and melt together, our breaths quicken and slacken, the slow-paced rhythm from an old song. Without the time constraints, our kisses are slow and more thorough. She allows my languishing body to stay on top of her until I am fully exhausted. My limp arms wrap over her shoulders while she uses her gifted hands and mouth on me. I don't have to do much at all. Being too worn out to work is future me's problem. Future me's problem. We should have rented out a room for ourselves much sooner. I own my agreement. If I close my eyes, will she disappear? A hug. If this turns out to be a dream, I will be so mad. How often do you dream about this? A few times a day? Ah, cute. I wonder if she can hear my mumbling. Judging by the short bursts of her breath on my lips, she's laughing. Good night, Rue. Not yet. I sigh. My body refuses to cooperate with my will to stay away. Don't leave me again, okay? I whisper before I fall asleep. Mother always told me I was a dreamer. My earliest memory of the phrase takes me back atop the evergreen forest, where tree branches webbed together in an intricate pattern. Mother and I existed between the forest below and the glittering night sky that kept evolving and reshaping itself. Instead of mummy, she told me my first word was star. When I was 3, I chased after the full moon. Mother found me miles away from home one late night, shivering inside an empty trunk. When I was 8, I wanted to sail around the world in a boat near the old river mill. When I was 10, I wanted to scour the whole universe. I was 22 when I dropped out to enlist, using the media's talking points to cover up how bored I was at school. Mother always said I was a long dreamer, and finally my long dream has ended, and in its place is a new one. They say half the world was made for people to find each other. The other half was for finding yourself. That's a very interesting quote. I really like that, and that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, I might... There is some truth to that. It is like watching a deconstruction of an artwork. Dirong's suitcases are lined with rolled-up articles of clothing. They have been sorted by sizes and then colors. If I didn't know Dirong personally, I never would have imagined she owned this many adorable PJs. All of them with panda motifs. Kai's eyebrows furrow. She glares at me from her side of the bed while drinking her beer. Spirit lies next to her, fully content. He lazily taps his tail and dozes off in the slow tempo of the room's atmosphere. Good kitty. It might be a good thing that cats can't talk. Imagine if they could and you find out you don't have much chemistry. You still living in this room? Kai says in the middle of her yawn and goes back to finishing it for a week or so. I have made no effort to pack my belongings. It is a lot more work than I am willing to put in right now. Worse, I have just paid my rent this fortnight. Rue. Dirong comes over to hand me a small box with orange wrapping. I asked my colleagues what you would like. A souvenir? That's so considerate, Dirong. My heart thumps faster inside my ribcage. Cute grills. Thank you. My name's on the side of the box in Dirong's writing. This is apparently very popular among nymph women. I'm almost too in love with the box to open it. My hesitation lasts about 5 seconds before I'm overcome by curiosity. It's a vibrator. Nice. Wondrous. I choke. A brand new vibration egg. It is slightly bigger than 3 of my fingers, with the string attached on a metallic head. The set is small enough to fit in the handbag. I'm not sure what to say. And watches my reaction with a glint of glee on her face. Dirong, are you secretly funny? He brings her other hand behind her back, forward. She's holding a hardback book with a variety of pastries on top. I got you another thing, too. The Culture of Pastries. I only read a few pages on the plane. We can go through it together. Of course, the book is at least 600 pages long. This will last us for at least 2 weeks. And I will, place my toy in the collection. Here's the toy in my collection. And that was how my toy collection grew by 100%. She never even had one. I will be sure to use it on Dirong later. Dirong picks up a larger box and leaves it in Kiri's arms. She gets half a dozen bars of rosy-colored handmade soap. Kiri sits on Kai's bed to inspect each of them. A pleased smile blooms on her face. I lean over to give the soap a good sniff. Watermelon and coconut oil. Dirong gives Kai a bottle of red wine, yes indeed, brewed and bottled in the Genbong region. Are we going to talk about you quitting, Dirong? What are you going to do? Dirong's sweep decision has made me anxious, but in the end, advice only takes us so far. It was always up to Dirong to live her life. Not too late. Ask her for your job back. Kiri chimes in. She's right, it's not too late. Can't Kai see that it is the last thing Dirong wants? I want to do something else. Like what? I'm not sure yet. Kai and Kiri share a look before Kai shakes her head. What happened to you? You always thought things through. You didn't even talk to any of us about this. Kai's body tenses, voice getting more agitated. Meanwhile, Kiri soothes her with a hand on her back. A hug. I swallow hard and brace for their incoming quarrel. Well, I slowly put up my hand to the dismay of my roommates. You talked to her and not me. It's not like you needed my opinion about your sigil either. You knew? I'm not an idiot, King. I was waiting for you to tell me. Oof. Hug. Kai sighs with a hoarse voice. Reluctantly, she pulls her mask off. Her chin is bare where sigil tattoo is supposed to be. Why would you erase your own identity, King? Erased? Really? I am still me, Dirong. Kai barks. Her fingers dig into the bottle till her knuckles turn white. Huggle. Kai, breathe. I don't know what to say. Weren't you the one who told me to fight back? Kiri's fingers gently stroke Kai's back. She draws in a long breath. Instead of shouting like before, her voice is calm and she replies, "Then we both changed, I guess. I realized my parents' lineage didn't define me at all. It is still a part of you. Anyone who deserves our respect ought to know it wasn't our fault. You're not the one who should be ashamed. And what if I am, Diron? Will you be there anytime someone gives me a side eye?" Kai swings her arm in a wide gesture. "Will you be there every time someone raises an eyebrow, connecting my sigil to my family name? I think about it all the time. Is this reaction because of me or because of my parents' name?" Kiri's frown tells me she isn't sure how to approach this either. At this point, both parties should air out all their grievances. How do I will them to look past my sigil, Diron? Kai repeats, her voice saddening. I suppose in a way it is like putting coloring in the dough. People can still eat the bread, but it is hard to ignore the neon green. Yeah, she's definitely a baker at heart. Diron shakes her head with an enervated sigh. Her voice softens. Don't you want to prove we're better than our image of Don't you want to prove we're better than their image of us? I'm not your us anymore, Diron. I'm not putting it back. You were the exception. But call me Kai from now on. Diron stops for a moment. She looks into my eyes and brings her attention back to Kai. Diron's shoulders slump forward, her body almost keeling over. She casts a defeated glance on the ground. Huggy. I close our distance and put my arms around Diron's body. She falls helplessly into me. She smells like her soap and shampoo, and a bit of my scent. I'm sorry, Kai. Diron's voice breaks. I wish I knew me as much as you do you. She whispers, squeezing me back tightly. She shivers when my lips place kisses on her collarbones. Shh. Kai has found a self she is comfortable with, even if it means erasing her past. I'll help you find what you want to do, love. Diron nods on the top of my head. The things I would do to take away her sadness. Hug. I know that feel. After a long pause, Kai agrees. Me too. 0800 on a weekend differs from 0800 on a weekday. The sun has flooded our room and raised the temperature to a bearable level. A few hours after their quarrel, and the tension is dissipated. Kai is struggling to find the right movie in the mountain of DVD cases. Each time she opened a case, the disc inside belonged to a different movie. Diron looks pleased now. Good. Huggle, basking in the warm glow between the crisscross shadows of the windows. She looks at me and smiles with those kissable lips I am too fond of. She smiles like I'm the only one in the room, eyebrows raised and eyes squinting. Diron is practically perfect. You're making sex eyes! Kai grunts and breaks Diron's holding spell on me. It's just my normal eyes, Kai. Kai hisses. She has put the mask back on after sneezing indefinitely in the proximity of Kiri's cat. Rip. She wasn't lying about her allergy, although I personally would have picked a more subtle solution than a muzzle. Rue. Yes? To be fair, you don't have the scar problem, the sigil problem that Kai did, so that also makes sense. Her delight in Sakan, I love how, she has all of these, pretentious pet names for the boss. I think they're supposed to be sarcastic. Her delight in Sakan approach me when the lunch crowd has cleared out by half. Ida has a notebook with her. No doubt it's full of high praise for me. Maybe. Probably not. Rue, my excellency, is extra excellent today. Beauty and brain in one shapely package. It is with great shame that your heart has been claimed by another woman. I'm ready to hand over to you my position of head chef. Please be ready to work after usual hours at quadruple pay grade. Once again, good job with your challenge dish. I've never thought I'd enjoy raw beef. Words cannot describe how proud I am every time someone mentions my dish. My first win in the fortnightly challenge. For my dish, I prepared raw beef mixed in sesame oil and raw eggs in a bed of lightly pickled vegetables. Some chefs were taken back at first, but most of them enjoyed it. Ida warmed to my dish after a taste, although she told me I should have put the pickles on the side instead because they were cooking the beef. Your contract is almost over. Sakan continues. Have I been here that long? Half of me feels like I have been through years of trials. The other half is still in a daze, too busy enjoying the company of my friends. Your face tells me you just realized how long you've been here. Zip. Shut your face, Rue. I have read Sakan's assessment on your performance. Ida's blank stare bores into me, her voice sultry. Nothing out of the ordinary for Ida. The sheer of her glasses prevent me to venture in too deep. They are as red as Dirong's, but her irises are eerily pale. The sheen of her glasses. To be completely transparent, Sakan detailed your productivity and speed, whether you were late for your shifts and how many wrong orders you took. I knew this assessment was coming, and I'm still not quite prepared for it. This is a highly desirable position, and I am replaceable. That being said, I've done my job to the best of my ability. Taking everything into consideration, your professional experience and physical capability, here it comes. Good job. I am glad we hired you. Oh, I want to pinch cold water or take a dip in my cheeks. Her dictatorship is actually pleased with my work. Wait, hold on. I love how that's written. I think that's on purpose. I'm just gonna... If that's on purpose, that's genius. Okay, there's been some odd English in this to me, but the way that sentence is written is beautiful, because usually, it would be like, take a dip in cold water or pinch my cheeks, but it makes no sense that she's, so flabbergasted by this, that she mixed up the whole wording, because, whoa, I love that, that's so good, it's like an extra layer of this is how, unbelievable this is. I love that. Her dictatorship is actually pleased with my work. Hey, Mom. A ball of warmth blossoms inside my chest. Despite my initial struggles, my work is on par with Ida's standards. Thank you. That means a lot to me. What next for you? Next? You give it a long pause. Much as I like it here, Dirong and I are planning to relocate to the city. We'll explore new opportunities together. We have no need to renew your contract then, so it is decided. I'll consider what you've told me. Ida makes a quick note in her book. She nods and walks away. You appeased our queen. Well done. I might not have the full physical capability of an Oregon, but I won't let that deter me from doing my job. What about the previous chef, Dinba? Will she be coming back to work? She's due for a visit soon. While we at that, Oren is still avoiding you. Talk to her, okay? I almost forgot. I'm overdue for a proper apology. Just happens that Oren is on the other side of the counter. I don't want to tap her while she's on the clock, cleaning up the food trays. Trap her. Oren. One glance at me and Oren visibly jumps. She puts her cleaning cloth up like a shield. What do you want? You can't walk through here. I don't want to either. The counter is too high. Oren is already in her defensive mode again. What else could you want? My cleaning cloth? Since your thought-reading skill is kinda sad, I'll just tell you. I want to apologize for the other night. I didn't think it through and I said something horrible to you. It hurt you. I'm sorry. You were enough, love. Oren stays quiet. Her hand is in the dish towel, absentmindedly drawing a circle on the counter. I give her another minute to respond. I'll get back to work now. As expected, Oren ignores me and proceeds on. There is no change to her demeanor. I wait another minute while she cleans the counter. When I make my move to leave, a mutter comes from Oren's direction. I don't hate you as much now. I didn't catch that. You love me very much? That's not what I said. Get your ears cleaned. Oren protests wholeheartedly. It catches the attention of a few staff. Then how much do you love me again? Shut up. We're done talking. Communal House of Port Tusking, standing sturdy through the war, and rightfully so. Mother told me I was a dreamer, but a new day has just begun. The sun casts its radiant rays over me, and I find my eyes wide open. My soul is renewed. I don't regret moving here. In many ways, the communal house acts as the blank pages for me to open an important chapter in my life. On and on, the story of my life continues. My smile comes easily on my face. I exhale aloud before making my way forward. Koa Tran? Rue, Dirong, you're late again. Sorry, my girl here just had to take the long drive. A long drive from Dirong's college? Oh, she's going to college now? But did it have to be a bumpy one too? I climbed down from the motorcycle, fully expecting Dirong to soothe my sore thighs tonight, preferably with her lips. Unabashedly sexual. I love it. Follow your heart. Still keeping a hand on Derek's back, I give Koa a grin. Hey, Koa. Koa blushes a little from Derek's attention. It's fine. My fiancée is a looker. She is a toucher only to me, though. How's your job going, Rue? Fiancé, I love that they're gonna be married. Very, very busy. I'm enjoying it, though. I really love how they didn't just be like... Huh? I love to make my desserts all day long. I get to make desserts all day long. Ah, yes, she's a baker. She's following her baker passion. By the way, friends, I really love how this is ending. Too many VNs I've read end on a very uncertain note. I really don't enjoy that. You spend hours and hours reading through someone's story and going through all of their emotional turmoil. I really want there to be a payoff at the end, because this is entertainment at the end of the day. And I really feel like with a story like this, if it doesn't leave you feeling good about the characters, it doesn't really fit what the purpose of these kinds of love stories are to be. They're supposed to warm your heart and uplift you. Like, love stories with any kind of sad ending it tears me up inside and detracts from the point. That's why I tend to every single VN I ever played. If it seems unsure that my choices will lead to a positive ending, I will often use a guide, and I'll often never touch, if I know that there's, bad endings or whatever, I'll never touch them. I will literally, a lot of times I'll go through one route, and this might be the one route I go through in this game, because I honestly do not like the boss, and the kind of dominatrix-y, relationship that seems to be leading to. Though I'm kind of curious now, but I really feel like this VN to me is the story of Rue and Dirong. So I think I'm actually going to leave this game here. I tend to choose my path in a VN and make it final and then move on. That's what I tend to do. Hey, Mo. What? I'm playing a game? Meow, kitty, kitty, cat. She doesn't seem like she wants to come. She doesn't want to come. Why are you so adamant about catching the cat? Love you. I might not have a sweet tooth, but my fingers are dexterous and I am known for being meticulous. My lovely Dirong can vouch for me. I can attest to that. Oof, Dirong reads my mind again. Whenever I went to see her in between classes, the shop would be packed. We have to go now or we'll miss the concert. Watching you makes me feel so lonely. Watching you two makes me feel so lonely. Hug. Koa makes a gesture as if to wipe the seat off her forehead, then flicks her hand in the air as if to fling the sweat away. In time, my friend. I'm a little nervous. This is my first time going to a concert of any kind. Dirong squirms a little when my fingers slip under her jacket. Just follow us and watch for the vomit on the floor, my love. I laugh. Her gaze still sets my chest aflame with love and wants. Cute. That doesn't sound promising, but I trust you. I love them. I love them.